Hi, everybody. My name is Mo Elias. I own a frame shop in New York called Big Apple Art Gallery and Framing. Today, I have with me Ian Gerald from South Florida, and we are going to be talking about the contest, and we'll be introducing the shops that entered the contest here. I'm going to bring Ian into the computer in just a second. Hold on. Hey, Ian, I have you on camera. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, Mo. How are you?
Good, man. Hey, nice to see you on camera.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and about the shop you work in.
So I'm a custom framer and I guess sort of the operation manager of our shop. It's distracting seeing myself. It's funny. So my father-in-law is the owner of the business. My wife manages the social media and I do all the framing and the operations. We bought the business about 3.5, almost 4 years ago now from my wife's uncle, who's the brother-in-law of the current owner now. And he was looking to retire. So I worked with him for about 2 years and then now it's just the three of us. So.
Okay, which town are you guys in?
So we're in Tamarack, which is a smaller town in South Florida. It's a little bit inland of Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, and what is the store called?
It's Heritage Art Galleries.
Heritage Art Galleries. You guys have a nice brand. I like it. You've got that nice car with the splash of paint on it, right?
Yeah. My wife designed that. So we rebranded when we bought the shop, and I think it's been good for us. So we did buy a shop that's been in business for 37 years, but there were no reviews. There was no website. There was no Instagram. There was not really much of a internet footprint. So we had to sort of start over with that, but it's been a fun journey.
Had it paid off? All the changes you made?
Well, there's definitely been improvements in the last 3.5 years, but we've still got a ways to go, but we're getting there.
Very nice. Very nice. I like your branding. I always watch the videos you guys do and all that stuff. So I think your branding is really cool.
Well, that's nice to hear. Thanks, Mo.
You got it. All right, let's start our let's look at our entries here. I'm going to switch to my screen here. Okay. All right. So Stephen, who runs our contest today, actually he's on the way to your state. He's going to a wedding, I think. So he can't be here. So you're helping me out with this, and I appreciate that. Do I have the screen on your screen? Do I have the Facebook page on the screen? Can you hear me, Ian? Okay, it looks like I lost Ian, and I'll pick him back up once he's back in here. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about the contest here. Ian, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. You were a little bit robotic for me for a minute, but it was probably me.
Sure. Okay. So the contest for October was called, and there's I call it macabre, and YouTube calls it macabre, right?
Yeah, macabre, I think.
Oh, macabre. It
yeah.
sounds Spanish, but you said the origin was French.
Hey, that's what Google says. I didn't say anything.
Well, I'm just gonna say it's something that I don't use. This is a word I don't use all the time. So I kind of have to look. I had to look up how it was pronounced. So I'm going to use macabre, and but if I'm wrong, I'm sure YouTube people are going to let me know.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it when I first saw the post. I was like, "What is that?"
Well, leave it to Stephen to come up with all these things.
Yeah.
All right. So he says definition of the macabre. Having a death of the subject, comprising or including a personalized representations of death. The macabre dance included a procession of skeletons. The second one, dwelling on the gruesomia macabre presentation of the tragic story. The third one is tending to produce horror and beholder this macabre procession of. All right, a lot of scary stuff. Okay. Yeah. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at our different contest pieces here. Okay, the first one is by Scott, and this is pretty cool. Look at that. He says, I was tasked with a mission to frame a human heart. I was given a wine box full of paper cranes and asked to make it look beautiful. I was not permitted to take a photo of the heart, so you will just have to take my word for it. So Scott framed a heart. What do you think of it?
Allegedly.
Huh?
I said allegedly.
Well, we have to take his word for it.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
The one thing I want to know is, was the heart beating when he got it? Because that makes a crime, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was. All right. So Mickey says, well, it's hard to beat that. Um, she calls him GS. Got to be an inside joke there. All right. So Mark has an entry here. It says, when I got up one Halloween morning, I noticed that it was very foggy outside. So I thought I want to take some pictures. So where do you go to Halloween morning? To the cemetery. All right. So there you go. Ian, go ahead. Ian, are you there? All right, so Ian is also again frozen. I think his internet is acting up. Anyway, so Mark gets up. He goes on a Halloween morning on a foggy outside day. He goes to the cemetery and takes a picture. This is really nicely framed. I like it. And these lines you all see here is called a French line or a V groove. I can't tell. A V groove is basically you take and you cut a little kind of a V into a mat, and a French line is you run lines through it with a ruler. So it's either one of those. It looks pretty good, and I like how he described it, that he went to the cemetery to take a picture on Halloween morning. Okay, still waiting for Ian. Ian, as soon as you come in, just chime in. Michael Mixon, so he has a pattern matching frame here, and he's known for matching patterns here. Basically, if you look at it, his patterns match at the corners. He makes an incredible deal out of making these line up, and he's got some green light here. I don't know where that's coming from, but it just really works. Ian, are you back? No, we've lost Ian again. Anyway, so this is an alien inspired frame, and then the patterns kind of match. You can see this matches that. It's really an incredible job, Michael. Mo, I'm supposed to mention the shops. Michael's shop is hanging around Hoover in Alabama, and then Mark Wolf's shop is Wolf Frames, Nanticoke, Pennsylvania, and Scott Dawson's frame shop is called Dawson's Galleries in Gold Coast, Australia. Okay, so we're gonna go. Mark's got a second entry called the Boogeyman, and he says everyone knows that the Boogeyman lives in the cellar and come out at night. So I hid my cellar, and when I heard them coming out, I stood up, and when they started shrieking, when they saw me, I quickly snapped this photo and ran up the stairs and locked the door behind me. All right, so you got a picture of the boogeyman. It looks like some dead fish or maybe skins of dead snakes. I like the story, Mark. You guys should go check him out. He's in Nanticoke, Pennsylvania, and I like his sense of humor. Okay, this is me telling people to. It's going to be on YouTube. Benjamin here. He says detail pics and creation video in the comments. His frame shop is called Benjamin's Custom Framing and Fine Art, Raymond, Mississippi. And the picture's pretty cool. And you can see all the details here. He's pretty stoked himself about framing this. And you've got Freddie there. You've got the machete signed. There's a lady here who's holding up her hands like that. Pretty cool, neat piece. And here's a detailed picture. There's certificate of authenticity there. I like it. I like it a lot. There was a reaction video, he said. Let me see if I can find it. The reaction video is going to take me to another page. Let me see if that will show. I lost Ian. So this is the reaction picture of the customer taking a look at it. I'm not getting the sound here. I think it's all in the sound. The customer is pretty excited about it. Oh, there you go. Oh, this is the customer. This is not Benjamin. And I'm not getting any of the sound at all. I apologize for that, Benjamin. Okay, so the next one here, this is also his. Looks like the same customer, and this is pretty cool. It's pretty. All right, that's a movie I did not watch called The Exorcist. I'm sure it's a play and a book too. I'm a movie guy. I don't read books, but it looks pretty nice. It's the dress, the little note here, and photograph of it, and customer's pretty stoked there. So very cool, man. All right. We're gonna go to Alan now. Alan Kinney does some really cool stuff. His shop is called Lois Custom Framing, Fort Collins, Colorado, right? And he goes, I found this one on my phone, so here he goes. Die Hard poster with shattered glass backing and custom bullet hole frame. Okay, this is crazy. I'm gonna zoom into it, but I just want to read this again. So it's a Die Hard poster, shattered glass backing and custom bullet hole frame. So these are bullet holes you can see into the frame. And then he shattered the glass and placed that in the back of the poster with the matting. Pretty amazing stuff here. If I click on this, you can see a little bit of detail. You can see the matting, the shattered glass is over there. These are the bullet holes, and you can see how the paint got scattered and all the blood. Really nice job, Alan. Alan does some really, really creative work. His shop is called Lloyd's Custom Framery in Fort Collins, Colorado. Let me see if there's more detail there. No, that's it. I commented a rocks, and it does. It does. Looks good. So, so that's that. Okay, so now I am going to Mike's. Mike's shop is called Artistic Indulgence in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I'm gonna look at a picture first because it's pretty cool. You've got oh man, you got brain matter here, jelly beans. I don't know what this is. Candy canes, and then you've got a little rustic frame in there. And let's read what the description is. And Mike says, well. Just my type of framing, not mine. If you all notice, I didn't have an entry here this month because I don't do this kind of framing. I don't watch horror movies. I'm not into this stuff. Um, Frame and art by me. Okay, so Mike created the art himself. Frame is an actual Halloween candy and razor blades and blood colored resin between two profiles of Larson. That's one of our vendors. The art is based on a plastic jack o' lantern candy bucket most of us grew up with. I always thought, what if someone had a head carved like the pumpkin instead of the actual pumpkin? Um, he still got the candy. Oh man, that's just freaky stuff. Halloween was last night, and uh, I my kids went to collect candy, and I don't think I would have loved for them to see this, Mike. But hey, it fits the theme, and it's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Really nicely done. Mike has another piece, and this is a cross, and he cut a frame in the shape of a cross, and let's see what he says about it. He says the frame is Larson Jewels discontinued line cut into a upside down cross featuring Old Scratch himself, or at least his messenger. All right, so this definitely fits the theme here. Or this is it's pretty cool, and cutting a rectangle is easy. Cutting a cross-shaped frame isn't easy, and putting glass on top of that is also a big task. So really nicely done, Mike. Mike's shop is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Artistic Indulgence. Okay, so we've got Christopher here, and he says, I did this piece for a customer who had a meet and greet with Robert and Heather Langkamp. I created the frame for her dreams or nightmares, and his shop is called The Framer's Edge, Arlington Heights in Illinois. And wow, man, that's some of the work you guys are doing are kind of scary, but it's fun. I don't think I can come up with all these ideas with the blood and the scratched up claw fangs there. Really cool job, man. And Chris's shop is the Framers Edge, Arlington Heights, Illinois. All right, so Chris has got a second piece. Uh, Dance of the Dead. I call this the safer side of the Halloween, more about celebration than scares. And let's take a look at that. Oh, this is really nice. It's got this the really nice charred burned black frame, which really looks good. This actually is wood that's charred and burnt, and you've got the little red mat on the inside, and it looks really cool. I like that a lot. Thanks for sharing, Chris. Now we've got Chris got another piece here. He did this for a friend that really loved the image. It creeps me out for some reason. Um, yeah, um, it is kind of creepy, but it works with the theme of the artwork of the month. Martin here puts in skin of a dead snake. Now this stuff is really neat. I don't get any of these to frame, but some of you guys do, and it's really nice. He puts a detail of the snake. Now this got to be nice and long, and you kind of give it a shape so he can put it in a small frame. And he mounted it with wire. So I can't see where the wire is, which is the trick here. So you would put a little bit of wire here, and then you put plastic tubing, rubber tubing, and use a shrink, a heat gun, and that would shrink to fit the tubing, and the tubing is bent to hold it in place. So it's always reversible, and you don't use glue or staples. And I don't see the wire here, which is really the purpose of using the wire properly. Looks really nice, Martin. Good job. Mike Brown here. Mike is one of our winners. Mike gets 15 votes for his job, for his piece. Mike's shop is called Woods Gallery in Albany, Georgia. And he hand wrapped this mat with glow in the dark fabric. And let me just go in closer there. So use a really nice red frame, and this fabric is hand wrapped over a mat, and then you've got the concert poster there, which looks really awesome. Here's a close-up of it, and I like that. I like the webbing. I like the hand wrap mat. Really nice. Mike is very known for his framing all the nice the concert posters. Okay, so Mike, congratulations. Mike gets Mike gets second place. Sorry, Mike gets silver, second place with 15 votes. Juliana says, triple mat fillet complete with skull frame. Wanted the matting to be a touch wider, but the wall space was an issue for a customer. Okay, so she used a skull frame. Look at that. I'm going to do a close-up. I hope it shows there. You got the little skulls in there, which is really nice. And the triple mat is really one mat, two mat, triple mat here. These are three mats. And you've got this thing called a fillet. A fillet is really a frame within a frame that we as custom framers like to use. It really kind of gives it a nice finish. And I think Juliana did a really nice job out of it there. Juliana didn't mention her store here, so I don't know the store. And let me see, there's some notes here. Oh, that frame is discontinued, Mike says. Okay, so Mickey gets 21 votes. Mickey is our winner for this contest this month. And Mickey's shop is called Mickey's Frame Shop. She's in Crossville, Tennessee. We did a video tour of her shop. I'm going to put a link of it later so you guys can see it. Mickey is very talented and she does really cool stuff. And I'm going to do some details of this, but let's go in closer into this and take a look at it. And if you take a look at this, you've got bodies coming out, skeletons coming out. It looks like she put some mud type situation here. And let me read some of the comments and see what she says here about them. Awesome. Look out. Oh, this is cut off so you can't see. You know, right? They kind of evolved. Okay, so if I get a little bit closer look here, let me take a look at it. And you all can see the bodies and all the zombies coming out with their swords. Mickey did some really nice job. I think she came up with this just for this contest. And Mickey doesn't play around. She's here to win. And I like this a lot. So Mickey's our first place winner. And she gets the first place gold. And Mickey's shop is in Crossville, Tennessee, called Mickey's Frame Shop. Mickey has another entry. Everything was changed and painted. Oh, so this is how she started. Look at that. So she started with this, and then she ended with that. Pretty amazing, right? So really nice job, Mickey. I like that a lot. Okay, and she puts a little more details rising from the mire, and it's pretty cool stuff. I really like it. Nice job. Okay, so let's see here. She has more details. So these are what we were talking about, the fillets, how she placed the fillets here to give it a little detail, and the beading works with their swords ends, which is really nice. Okay, so we're gonna go to Christian. Christian is our third place winner. He gets 14 votes. So Christian gets our bronze. and he made a coffin frame with a crucifix V-groove. Christian's shop is called Cyrus Custom Framing in Canton, Ohio. Artist name is Derek Hess, and let's do a close-up of this. It's there's no words here. This is really cool, and it's a coffin frame, and the V grooves part is this part here, and you cut a V groove into the mat, and it looks awesome. I love it. Christian, really nice job, and congratulations for taking third place. This is so funny. Still no human heart. Oh, Mickey is making fun of Scott for showing us his framing without the human heart. So that's in question that he, in fact, did frame a human heart. Well, I know he did. We're just making fun of him. Amanda here has a shop called Pharaoh's Gallery, and she's in Georgia, and I forgot her town's name. She did a really cool job here on this poster. Now, she's very known for designing really cool stuff, and the framing looks really awesome here. Nice job, Amanda. Nick Horton has a piece here, says, here's a spooky framing piece we finished recently. It's a plaster cast of actor Basil Rathbone's death mask. Wow. I didn't need this part before. It's hung at Draco's Theater restaurant for many years before the client purchased it and had it framed in a custom box or a black mat and frame. Classic picture framers, Melbourne, Australia. Oh, wow, look at this. This is really cool piece. And Nick did a really nice job. So this is black. It shows blue here, but it's really black. I think the photograph didn't reflect properly there. Susan Bonney has a shop in Fort Lee. Susan's shop is called Frames of Mine in Fort Lee, New Jersey. And she did a cool framing here. And I'm going to read this description. I read this before, but I'm reading it for you guys. I usually don't do dark and scary things. I only a couple of times. This piece is an original drawing of a guy called Diamond Head or something. He cuts off nurses' heads. The frame was from direct, and I thought the swords were perfect inside a frame. Let me do a close-up so you guys can take a look at it. The frame that looks like kind of a sword, kind of a look here, and I like it a lot. It's pretty cool. She says she hasn't sold this yet. She says it's a shame, but I think it looks good. She painted this inside of it in red. Very creative, Susan. Nicely done. Okay, so Marianne is the last entry here, and she has a sugar skull with hand-colored black mat and a frame, and her shop's name is Classic Corner in Pueblo, Colorado. And that's really nice. Did a really cool job. This frame is wonderful, and the pattern works with the design of it. I don't know if she created. Mary didn't say if she created the frame herself from a black frame, but it looks like she has, because this is a perfect match, unless she found something that perfectly matches. Really nice job. So these are all our stores who entered this contest. Thank everybody for watching, and go ahead and check these stores out if you're local to them, and say, hey, look, I saw you on YouTube and I want to see the designs that you made, and hopefully you can get one of these made for yourself. I'm going to leave you with our winner here by Mickey, and Mickey gets first place. Congratulations, Mickey. Congratulations, Mike, for second place, and Christian Harville for third place. And we'll do this again next month. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and take care. Bye-bye.